We're back with a Part 3 MacLaren Hall, LA County Civil Grand Jury Report 2001-2002. Part 1, we talked about the criminal background checks. Part 2, investigating allegations of abuse by staff. And Part 3, we're going to be talking about recruitment, hiring, and item control. The human resources management at MacLaren Hall was very decentralized because you had all these different service providers in one place, and no one human resource department or administrator was managing all of these different positions and people. So the report says the decentralized nature of human resources management at MacLaren has led to complications and inefficiencies and illustrates the difficulty in trying to provide integrated services by various county departments and agencies. Additionally, the consortium operational agreement contains many provisions that limit the administrator's authority to the detriment of overall effectiveness in managing the human resources function. Examples of difficulties experienced as a result of decentralized human resources management include the lack of direct input by the administrator into hiring decisions of LA County Office of Education staff assigned at MacLaren, because as we talked about in Part 1, MacLaren had a school on site. High turnover in key management positions in the health services function, disagreement regarding reporting relationships and roles and responsibilities of key management positions in the health services function, disagreement regarding the hiring and management of nursing staff, and a lack of accurate item or position control data that would enable management to account for all staff at the facility at any given time. So they didn't know what people were doing, where they were, because this set of people reported to this group. LA County Office of Education, they have their own human resources, but they're staffing educators and whoever else is working at the school. And then you got health services with their own human resources department. If you go to my profile, one of the first few videos that I posted was of a survivor who made a rap song about his experiences at MacLaren Hall. The backstory to Jonathan's experience is that he was sexually assaulted by a dentist at MacLaren Hall. So the report goes on to say the MacLaren Hall administrator needs final decision-making authority regarding the staffing types and levels at the facility, as well as disciplinary authority. This would increase the efficiency and effectiveness of the overall operation, as it would centralize authority and responsibility for key human resources decisions, the major element driving operations at MacLaren. Now, I was saying to myself, they were recommending this administrator or an administrator do a whole bunch of stuff, because they mentioned the administrator in our last section should have responsibility to do X, Y, and Z. But in the recommendations for this section, one of the things it states is that in areas in which specific expertise is required to make efficient and effective staffing decisions, MacLaren should have its own experts, either on staff or as consultants who can advise management as to the best configuration. Another recommendation they have is that they should have reviewed options for using non-county service providers who are more able or willing to work within the proposed management framework and transfer current county costs to that provider from the department or agency in question, should one of the entities be unable or not wish to participate in the recommended amendments to the operational agreement. And last recommendation in this section is to require staff from all agencies to report monthly to the Human Resources Director at MacLaren regarding the total staffing from their department, including new hires, resignations, terminations, and transfers. Those agencies not complying with this requirement should be reviewed for suitability to continue their assignment at the facility. So they state that the key benefit of their recommendations is that it would lead to more accountability at the facility and give the administrator the authority over all personnel decisions there. And the county would also be vesting all responsibility for those decisions with the administrator. This should lead to increased efficiency and effectiveness at MacLaren. So I'm like, okay, well, who's going to hire this administrator and what criteria should that person be meeting? Now, after every recommendation, first they do summary, recommendations, and then they do a cost analysis. So for the cost of basically revamping the Human Resources Department, they state that MacLaren Children's Center is a very high-cost facility that serves children with great needs, but management does not have control over or complete information about total costs at the facility, nor are the systems in place for measuring the outcomes when new staff or staff are added. Without such measurement and without basic financial information, MacLaren management is not accountable for total facility costs, nor in a position to assess the effectiveness of services provided relative to cost to ensure that it's providing the most effective services to its residents for the dollar spent.